Alright, let's talk about some stuff. Here's a purchase that I got back in April, and here we are talking about it in late July. Yay. This is Marble Saga Kororimpa on the Wii, which, of course, as some of you may know, this is the sequel to Kororimpa Marble Mania, also on the Wii. It's, of course, marble rolling game. Roll the ball to the end of the maze, and of course it has this thing where you can also collect pieces of the Stump Temple, because that's part of the story, because yay, now they have a story in this, woohoo. And there's other things like a green crystal to collect, which I guess because of some OCD of mine, I try to collect them all. I normally don't, but that's just the way it is, and I get why they did that, just to add some more substance to the levels, but this game is kind of glaringly annoying. And what I mean by that is, it seems like a lot of the annoyances repeat. There's a lot of, cases where you're gonna fuck up, because it's the platforms are too thin, or the controls are too sensitive, and there's too many crazy ass jumps. It just never feels like there's actually free flowing smooth movement or travel throughout the levels compared to even the first game. I've beaten the first 4 worlds. There's a 5th world, like a submarine world or a ocean world, water world, whatever. And basically I have to build parts for a submarine to get there. I believe I probably already have all those parts. It's just that, I'm taking a brief hiatus on this while I play other stuff. Again, I've been trying to actually beat this game, and we'll keep at it, but yeah, that's Marble Saga Kororimpa on the Wii. How about some Game Boy Advance stuff? Is it too fucking dark in here? Let me actually look. I don't know. Here we have a GT Advance Championship Racing on the Game Boy Advance. This was, I believe, a launch title for the Game Boy Advance. Or either way, it was definitely a year 1 game. And, well, it's an interesting ordeal. It's a racing game that focuses a lot on Mode 7. It runs pretty smoothly, and it just plays decently well, too. I think the car engine noise is a little loud, but it's a neat little game. And in Gilgatex's Game Boy Advance Challenge, this is listed as one of the top 100 games. So, yeah, how about that? If you want to have it picked, you gotta wait till number 9 on the list. Basically the number of the game he's playing on has to end on 9. So it's game 199 or game 209. So yeah, if you have a 9, then you can play a top 100 game or an RPG. Have him play it, I should say. So yeah. Let's see, what else? How about the first Sega Genesis game I bought this year? Here we have World Series Baseball 96. I guess it's nice to actually have one of the many World Series Baseball games that were on Sega platforms, and this one in particular, just because I kind of like the cartridge art, It's a little more lively than the regular-ass World Series Baseball. And World Series Baseball 95 just kind of There's also World Series Baseball 98 on Genesis, but man, if we got that on Saturn, then we'd be talking. A lot of baseball games just seem fucking unfair and just annoying. The AI will always know what you're doing, or there's always, some cryptic ass bullshit, and how it takes fucking forever to get, people out. When the opposing team is batting and you're the pitcher, it takes fucking forever to get them out. But when you're the batter and the CPU is the pitcher, you can fucking out almost instantly. That seems to be a problem with almost all these fucking baseball games I'm playing. This one also, this is a bit of a nitpick, and I'm sure it can be fixed. But when it comes to actually throwing the ball from the diamond and whatnot, and maybe just fielding in general, it's kind of not the most fluid, whatever. course of action when you're trying to throw to a specific part of, the diamond, like left or right of the diamond, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, there's that. But, yeah. It's fine, I guess. These games play well. It just, yeah, there's that. How about an original Game Boy game? Here we have, what is this, a J-League Fighting Soccer, the King of Ace Strikers. As you can guess, this is a Japan-only game. Wanted a soccer game for the original Game Boy, and, well, this is one. This game's kind of odd. The B button doesn't seem to do, like, anything at all. Like, there's no running or even passing. It literally just seems like to be a shooting, action, or A shoots, I should say. Which surprisingly, it actually works decently well. Like, for both, obviously, passing, to another player or trying to score a goal. It's weird, but I guess it serves its purpose as the fact that I wanted an original Game Boy soccer game. So, yeah, get this maybe. It's also on Famicom, so, I mean, there's a Famicom version of this as well, so, there's some knowledge for you. Okay, how about N64 stuff? I got two here. One I got in late June. The other one I got this month. I'll talk about them. Anyways, this is the one I got in late June. This is Echo no St. Andrews. It's a golf game, one of 6 golf games on the N64. This is interesting because it was a Year 1 title, released 1996. This game was also later ported to the PS1, so I guess if you really wanted to play golf on the fucking St. Andrews course, and you didn't have an N64 back then in Japan, then you could play it on the PlayStation 1. The N64 wasn't that successful in Japan anyways. I don't know, it has, of course, a mechanic, pull back the stick, and then, like, launch it forward to, like, swing the ball. This is a bit of a hard game to get into, and it's just weird seeing. I'm sure it's probably pretty decent, but honestly, it's hard to actually just get a feel for it, the more and more I play it. I think that's just the best way to put it. Both a feel in the gameplay, the graphics, and really just almost everything. So, yeah. Here's the one I got in July. This is probably going to be the only N64 game I get this month. This is Top Gear Rally. Fucking racing game by Boss Game Studios, I guess this is one of the more well-known ones. This game is just weird. It's a little floaty, and it's just honestly kind of lifeless and unfinished. It's just not anything to write home about at all. There was, of course, the second game, which I got last June, and at least that one stuck out a little more to me because of its weird mix of both simulation and arcade racing. Whether or not that's a good thing, I guess that's debatable, but this one just doesn't really stand out to me. I think Top Gear Overdrive on the N64 is probably the better game. I played a bit of that, but I haven't played enough to judge. And also Top Gear Hyperbike, which looks like it would be the best out of the 4, so, yeah. Alright, okay. How about a 3DS game? Ridge Racer 3D. And now, thanks to this is my 6th 3DS game I bought this year. I've never been able to say I bought 6 3DS games in 1 year. I was able to say I bought 5 3DS games in 2012, but never any more since then until now, so how about that? Like many Ridge Racer games, this was a launch title. Also, like other Ridge Racer games, this seems to really recycle a lot of courses from previous games. I'm sure there's something original here, but yeah, regardless of that though, it's another, home run, shall we say. It's another winner in the Ridge Racer series. I do quite like it. It's fun, I guess maybe can be appreciated a little more now compared to when the 3DS first launched, because, there's more 3DS games, but even so, 8 years later, there's not a ton of racing games on the console. I do kind of wish that R was a drift in this. I'm sure there's an option for it, but yeah. And I remember when I first played it, I was just kind of like, intrigued. There seemed to be a lot more options in, like, cars and the controls and whatnot, that they gave you before hopping on into a race. So, how about that? I'll pick this one up. You'll like it, I'm sure. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're actually doing pretty good on time. Holy shit. How about GameCube stuff? You know me, I love GameCube. So let's talk about some stuff. Here we have NBA Courtside 2002. Unlike the first two NBA Courtsides on the N64, this one doesn't have Kobe Bryant in the title. I mean, it has Kobe Bryant, but not in the title. This actually did release in 2002, in January of 2002, so yeah, that's pretty cool. I wanted a basketball game on the GameCube, and despite the recent bit of sports games you've been seeing on this show, I don't follow sports at all. Having said that, though, it's no surprise and no secret I should say, that the Toronto Raptors won. So as a result, everyone's been hyped. Everyone's been going apeshit. It's been a big deal, and I would have got this anyways, but now is an excuse to actually achieve it. I'm looking at the back. There's like a rooftop court. I need to actually replay this and try and find that. That actually looks dope as hell. I've seen it before, but I have to bring it to attention to try and mention something about the game, because the game, it's basketball. It's pretty good. The first two on the N64 were pretty good, and this seems to run just as well. Not really a big fan of the menus in this game, but other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. If you're a GameCube fan at all, whether you're into basketball, just fucking get this, honestly. If anything, it's, I guess, worth it for it being another title published by Nintendo. Maybe that's something of notoriety, just like the other two games. Here we have Need for Speed Underground 2. That I got in June. This I got in June. This I also got in June. Maybe I should get the first one as well soon. Yeah, I don't really get many Need for Speed games at all, do I? Fuck. This one did stand out to me just because I do like the cover, like the green on the car, the city at night, and just the colors overall on both the front and back of this. That was something that attracted me to this game. I know that's a bit weird, but yeah, game itself. Well, I wish it had 4-player racing for one thing, for fuck's sakes. But it's pretty fun. I haven't, actually done any sort of career whatsoever. I literally just fucked around in, the 2 or 3 courses they give you from the start, because they don't give you much. I understand that there's a, a career/story to play, but it's I just want to race. I'm sure that's not necessarily the entire point of the Need for Speed series, but I'm just calling it as I see it. That's just my opinion. I'm sure I'll actually sit down and unlock more tracks and races, but I wanted it. I think this is my 12th maybe racing game on the GameCube. Actually, why don't we find out? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. 11th, actually. Okay, yeah, sorry, that took a while. This would be my 12th. F-Zero GX. We did a watch us play on this not very recently. Of course, I don't really know what to say, other than, of course, big game, people fucking want this, people love this, people like it. It's not the last F-Zero that they made, because the last F-Zero that they made was F-Zero Climax on the Game Boy Advance, which was only released in Japan in 2004. I haven't checked out the story mode of this. I literally just, like, done the multiplayer a bit. Did the Grand Prix races, fucked around in time trials. But that's all I've done. But, needless to say, it's definitely a great game, It was made by Amusement Vision, who, of course, made Monkey Ball 1 and 2, Daytona USA on the Dreamcast, and, like, Virtua Striker 2002 on the GameCube. Just again, fast, futuristic racing action you'll love so much on the GameCube, and as many would say, the best in the F-Zero franchise. Kind of goes without saying, but when the fuck are they gonna make another F-Zero, 30 pilots, 20 courses, 1 champion, the future of racing. I also find it interesting on the back here that it says, steer through danger with the Logitech Speed Force steering wheel, powered force feedback technology sold separately. So Nintendo's like advertising a third-party racing wheel for the GameCube. I'm sure it probably doesn't help that much playing this. Maybe it does, I don't know. FIFA Soccer 06. I did buy this on the PS2 back in May, but I want to get on the GameCube, because why not? I think I'll probably get all the FIFAs on the GameCube. So that means I just need a FIFA 07, the 2 World Cup games, and the 2 FIFA Street games. This one doesn't have the FIFA International Soccer Genesis port like the PS2 version does. I don't fucking know why. Like, for fuck's sakes, that's just a twinkle in, the game's data. That won't, like, cost shit. I know a GameCube disc only holds 1.5 gigabytes, but come on. You should have included that. I'm sure there's other, like, features missing, but, I did want it. Like I said earlier, in one of the previous episodes, I did want to get this on GameCube, and, well, here it is, and even playing on GameCube, I still don't really know what to say in particular about this entry of FIFA, so... Oh wow, we're doing kind of not too great on time, are we? Here we have Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax on the PS3. It's another anime fighting game, and in this case, quite a few characters from anime games, or animes, I should say. I don't really recognize most of them. Also, this being Sega having their, Sega having a part in it. I guess just the best way to put it. I was trying to think of something clever, but I drew a blank. There's things like there's a Virtual On stage, a Night stage, a Valkyria Chronicles stage, even a Sonic stage. So yeah, there's that. This is also on the Vita. So that's cool. This game came out in March of 2014 in arcades, and then later on PS3. This is also on PS4, but only in Japan. I mean, PS4 is region free, so who knows? Maybe I'll actually pick that version up too, just because PS4 controller's so much better. This game's actually pretty damn good. I don't know if I like it as much as Arcana Heart 3 or Aquapazza, other anime fighters on the PS3, but it's pretty fucking good. I think after playing and picking up Blade Strangers on the Switch, which was just so I needed something really freaking good. And of course I could always go back to Aquapazza and Arcana Heart 3, but we needed some, new life. And I did have my eyes on this game for a little while, and well, here it is now. Climax. We'll talk about more some other time.